A lot of what that tax revenue goes into, or is supposed to go into here in the US, is what then turns around and makes it possible for businesses to thrive. My favorite example is probably the smartphone. The federal government could not have invented the iPhone. Yeah. That is like all of the design, the manufacturing supply chains, that's the kind of thing that corporations can do very well. What makes the iPhone work? Well, among other things, the internet. The internet was literally invented by a federal research project. It would never have been possible to invent the internet with a private company because you wouldn't have got the kind of capital return. Even though it's $1 trillion idea, right, that requires things that are so fundamental that you actually don't know for 50 or 100 years if they're going to have a return. They might never work out. Like a pharmaceutical company researches a new medication expecting that, they're going to
there's going to have a return in the next, 10, 20 years.
Right, at least kind of within the kind of profit horizon.
Yeah. But public parks is another version of this and stuff like that. You can't privatize the public park.
Right. This is the whole idea of public good. But there's a handshake, right? There are the things that only the government can do, and then there are the things that the private sector can and should do. And they meet in the middle. Part of what really worries me right now about this kind of war on academia, there are some things about academia that need to change. But the war on academia, the cuts to cancer research, the cuts to science research, that costs us in ways that don't show up on a corporate profit and loss statement 6 months from now or a year from now. But in terms of whether a country, a society, an economy is productive and is growing and is innovating, that starts to really cost you over time. And if we're shorting that, or if corporations and extremely wealthy people don't want to be paying into that, that is classic example of a kind of short-term gain that causes long-term pain.